Good day, my current 36 subscribers and countless casual viewers. Please bring more to the party and subscribe. It's just more fun that way. Because today we're going to The Haunting of Hill House, published in '59, and I'm going to go with the 2018 Netflix single season miniseries. Starting with what the book and the show have in common. Obviously, a haunted hill house. A little history on the Crane family. Three characters, Theodora, Nell, and Luke. The stern and stuffy housekeeper, Mrs. Dudley. Along with the personal quirks and psychological baggage of all these characters. And of course, paranormal events in the house, such as banging on the walls and the apparition of a hanged woman. Now, what is only in the book? Now, this visit to the haunted Hill House is an experiment conducted by Dr. Montague, who is an anthropologist with a curiosity about hauntings and paranormal stuff. So he invites along three people he can study the haunting and how it affects them. And this trio of Eleanor, also called Nell, and Theodora and Luke are complete strangers, meeting for the first time on this project. Theodora is alleged to have a telepathic ability. Nell is a mouse who's been just run into the ground by her narcissistic family her entire life, until Hill House. And once she's there, all her suppressed emotions and wild fantasies come bubbling to the surface to her own detriment, to when she becomes a problem for the rest of the group. They send her packing, and she kills herself by crashing her car. Luke is there, as he is related to a former owner of Hill House, and he's a fan of Dr. Montague's work. And there's also some Ouija board action that's only in the book. Now, what is only in the show, and it's a lot, because these are very, very different, even though same train of thought, haunted house and people in it. Alright, now the entire focus of the show is on the Crane family. A lot of it during their younger years, when the parents were younger and all the Crane siblings were still kids, and they all lived in Hill House. The storyline in the show, it bounces back and forth between past and present, so it does frequently get confusing if you're not paying attention all the time. We get to know the parents, Hugh and Olivia Crane, while they're young, and of course all the 5 kids are still kids. And the Crane kids include Theodora, Nell, and Luke, but there's 2 additional siblings that were not in the book, Shirley and Stephen, who are the oldest. As adults, 4 of the 5 siblings have to reunite at Hill House. Not because they want to, really, but because Nell just died there. Just as Stephen achieves fame and fortune after publishing a bestseller about their formative years there, along with the loss of their mother, and this book is called The Haunting of Hill House. Now, big sister Shirley grew up to be a mortician and takes on the responsibility of embalming Nell, her little sister. And during one of her flashbacks, she's the one who finds a box of newborn kittens in a barn, and they all died on her like within days of her finding them, and that's her traumatizing Hill House event. Theodora grew up to be a child psychologist, and similar to in the book, she has a very real second sight that she's had since childhood, where any kind of physical contact, like a handshake or a hug, would reveal someone's deepest secrets, kind of like Matthew McConaughey's character in Frailty. So, she wears gloves as an adult to keep that second sight at bay. Luke is a crackhead, and he's Nell's twin. They've always had like a psychic connection, and his addiction is what numbs him to feeling her pain, particularly when she dies. They all think it's suicide because it was hanging strangulation, when he knows otherwise. And then there's Nell. Nell never really recovered from being haunted by her own ghost as a child. After losing her husband, she goes back to Hill House and she dies there while she's hallucinating putting on a locket, which is actually a noose, and then is pushed down the stairs by the ghost of her mother, Olivia Crane. And then we see through kind of a flashback time travel that Nell is this hanged woman apparition she's always seen when she was a little girl. And of course, there's always this terrible place in Hill House that the kids all dread, even as adults. It's a red room, kind of like in the Amityville Horror. And that is everything there is to know about The Haunting of Hill House TV and book. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please bring more subscribers and more to the party. Well, the book club, really. I know it's not a party. And I will see you next time.